dear friends, welcome to my YouTube channel that is Learning and Programming with Chetan. So, friends, I have received multiple requests from you all, and on the basis of that, I have decided to create a tutorial series on this topic, which you can see on your screen, that is Apache Tomcat Web Server. Okay, so in this series, we will try to understand that what is web server, what is application server, what is the differences between them, and what is this Apache Tomcat web server, how we can install it, how we can configure it in Eclipse, how we can integrate our application with Apache Tomcat, what are the configurations we can do with Apache Tomcat web server, how we can set the default port for our web server, how we can change it, how we can deploy our Java applications or our WAR file on web server, that is Apache Tomcat, how we can run multiple instances of a server on a same machine, how we can run multiple applications on web server which may listen on different ports. Okay, so in this tutorial series we will be discussing about all of these topics. Okay, so now in this particular video, we will try to understand about our first topic, that is what is this Apache Tomcat web server. Okay, so let's try to understand that what is Apache Tomcat. So if we talk about this Apache Tomcat, then this is an open source web server. Now what do you mean by open source? So if we talk about open source, then it is easily available on internet and it is absolutely free, so that we can download this Apache Tomcat on our machine. Okay, and it contains servlet containers. So if we talk about Apache Tomcat, then it is also known as servlet container or web container. Okay, great. Now let's discuss about our next point, that what is the use of this Apache Tomcat. So it is used to deploy our Java based applications. Okay. In our upcoming videos, we will see that how we can integrate Apache Tomcat with our Java based applications and how we can deploy our Java applications on this web server. Okay. Now, this Apache Tomcat is used to serve static and dynamic web pages. Okay. Now, what is this static web page? So, the web pages which is developed by using HTML, CSS, or JavaScript are categorized into this static web pages. Okay. And if we talk about dynamic web pages, then these can be developed by using servlet and JSPs. JSP, that is Java Server Pages. Okay, and this uses a protocol that is HTTP, which is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Right? Great. Now let's discuss about our next point. So our Apache Tomcat server consists of Java servlets. It consists of Java expression language and JSPs, that is Java Server Pages. Okay, so all these help us to run the code, that is to run the Java code on our browsers. Okay, now if we talk about our next point, then we can use this Apache Tomcat server on both Linux and Windows operating system. Okay, so as we have already discussed, the main work of Apache Tomcat web server is that it is used to accept the request which we are sending from the web server. Now this web server can be an Chrome, right? It can be your Internet Explorer or your Microsoft Edge, right? So it is accepting the request and it is converting the programming language into the well-developed web pages. That is, when the request is coming, it is accepting that request, it is sending it to the backend, and backend is generating some web page for you, which can be developed by using various programming languages. And finally, it is returning that web page back to the browser, which is generally visible to us on browser. Okay. If we talk about some of the examples of web servers, then first and the foremost, which we are already discussing, that is Apache Tomcat. Then we have Jetty, and we also have Resin. Okay, so these are some of the web servers. Now let's try to understand this Apache Tomcat by the help of diagram. Okay, so here you can see that we have a browser. It can be in Google Chrome. Okay, and user is sending the request. Okay, suppose I am searching for Apache Tomcat. That what is Apache Tomcat? So this browser is sending the request to the web server. Okay, and in our case it is Apache. Okay, now this request can be of static content or it can be of dynamic content. Okay, now as we already know that our server contains an servlet container, or we can also say it is a web container or Tomcat container, will process the JSP request, or it is a servlet request. JSP is also internally converted into servlets, right? I hope that you have a better understanding on that. And it will be passed to the particular servlet, which will understand the request, or which will listen the request, and it will process it, and it will return the response back to our web server, which will return the response, which is in a form of HTML document that is visible on our browser screen. Okay, great. So this is the complete flow, that how the request is flowing from browser to the web server to the servlet container, and how the response is reaching back to the browser and is visible to the user. So I hope that it is clear to you all guys that what is Apache Tomcat web server. Now let me quickly tell you that how it is different from server. Okay, so if you're talking about web server, then it is used to serve the Java based application, which is purely web applications, which means that it consists of HTML, CSS, your JavaScript, your JSPs, and your servlets. If we talk about a complete enterprise edition application, which consists of your EJBs, that is enterprise Java beans, or it consists of your JMS, that is Java messaging services, and other additional features, that is an Hibernate concepts and all, to interact with the database and backend layer. So in that case, we need application server. So if we talk about application server, then it is a combination of your web server, which is a servlet container, plus your EJB container. Okay. So this is about application server. And if we talk about the examples of application server, then it is an WebLogic, which is from Oracle. Then we have JBoss, we have WebSpheres, etc. Okay. So this is about application server and how application server is different from this Apache Tomcat web server. Okay. Now in our next video, we will try to understand that how we can install Apache Tomcat server on our machine. Okay, and what all it actually contains, and we will also see that how we can run Apache Tomcat web server on our machine. So stay tuned with me, and if you have not subscribed my channel till now, then you can quickly hit that like and subscribe button so that you don't miss any updates of my upcoming tutorials.